Situations made a man of me. That is expected, I'm exactly who I plan to be. I looked my mama in the eyes and told her we gon' make it. How could I go anyway but her? Now I'm sitting at your grave, reminiscing all the time that I wasted. I can't make it up.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the L.U.V podcast. You have your host here, L.U.V Jones.
And it's your boy Drake.
And today, of course, we have a very special guest today. We have Tera Chantelle. How you doing today?
I am fantastic. So honored to be here today.
We appreciate you for coming on board, honestly. Like, for real. We're so glad to have you on board.
Thank you. It's about to be fun. I'm ready to talk that talk.
That's what we're ready for. Well, for the viewers who may not know you at home, do you mind giving an introduction to yourself?
Yes. I am Tera Chantelle, the spiritual activist and the self-love advocate. I teach others how to really fall madly in love with themselves, authentically, transparency, while we're still focusing on the spiritual evolution to this life. I act, I model, I produce, I write, I do a lot of filmmaking, editing, content creation. You know, we can't limit ourselves out here. I mean, the list can go on, but I'll be like, just Google me, baby, at this point.
Yeah. That's great that you're well-rounded because, you know what I'm saying, definitely don't put yourself in a box at all because we can do anything we set our minds to. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. And so what motivated you to begin your self-love journey?
I think we all, got our heart broken before, and relationships is truly the piece where it catapults us forward into our purpose if we use it properly, instead of like pouting and crying and blaming other people. If we take the initiative to actually self-reflect, because relationships are truly a part of healing, it's helping us heal whatever wounded parts that we have within ourselves. And what I did with this broken heart is build my heart up to actually cultivate the love within myself, because we tend to have been taught, especially in high school and when I was a young woman, that I have to look out to become happy. Like someone is gonna magically appear and then they're gonna complete my whole world. But we have to remember that we're already complete. Like, we're already whole within ourselves. We lack nothing and we are abundant. And once we simply become love and be love, that's when we start attracting love in all different shapes, forms, places. And we have to get rid of like the narrow way of thinking that love is surrounded by due to the movies and the media, and truly just open your eyes. Like, it's love around us everywhere.
It is
Exactly. And it definitely starts within, because once you search out, like, you'll always be finding yourself, something's missing. But what the thing that's missing is within you already. You just have to take time to do whatever it takes to bring that out of you. So
right, it does take some nurturing, man, because like your inner self, like, it also needs to be nurtured just as much as like you're trying to nurture everybody else or trying to do like your outside stimulus. Is like you have to work on self first, because like self at the end of the day is the whole reason why like you can push past things or make things like come into fruition like you've been thinking.
Absolutely.
Because it comes from the inside. Facts.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Like, it's so important. I think we skip over, like, we have to parent ourselves. Like, you still have to like parent yourself. We still have this inner child in us. And if we wasn't getting our needs met in childhood, which a lot of us haven't, so that's what we have to rebuild that. Like, we have to like encourage ourselves. We have to do this self-talk. We have to really motivate ourselves, be our best friend instead of being our worst enemy. No wonder why we have so much hardship. It's because we're not nice to ourselves. We got to really be gentle with ourselves.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, like, how important do you feel like self-love is in our community? Like, as far as like us as, melanated beings.
Yo, I feel like this is the game changer right here, because then once we truly honor ourselves, we're going to honor other people around us. We're going to start accepting people for who they are without trying to change them. We're going to operate from compassion instead of our ego, instead of feeling like we need somebody to validate us. We're already validating ourselves. So now everything else is just beauty, and we see it for what it is, and it is what it is. And that's the beauty of it. And nothing in this life is going to be perfect. So I feel like we should stop trying to make people into a perfection idea of a fantasy that we want, and realize that nothing is permanent as well or personal. So if we understand that, then I think we'll start operating in a more realistic standpoint and truly experience life for what it is. And that's to enjoy it. Like, we just supposed to go with the flow of this wave of this life. And that's the beauty of it, and embracing the unknown. But sometimes I realize most people like stay into situations, relationships, because they're fearing the unknown. And most people have an expiration date in our lives. And if we keep holding past the expiration date, God cannot bless us when we are in a mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. Because I seen somewhere, I don't know who said this, so I'm going to misquote them, but I know I've seen somewhere that it says that some people are in your life for a season, and if you continue like trying to, bring them along, it's not going to work. But if you keep trying to make something that's not going to work, then it's never going to work. So I totally agree with what you just said. Like, some people do have an expiration date, unfortunately, and we have to be able to know that with ourselves, and be able to love them, and be able to let them move on with their life and move on with our own life. You know?
And that's huge. And that's like allowing yourself to not really hold on to nobody, because that also comes, I feel like that comes with a little bit of like possession.
Exactly.
Like, you feel like you kind of like
talk about it.
Yeah, you don't want anybody.
You can't really do that. Like, if you just see everybody as like individuals, then you can kind of like be more empathetic to their feelings of what they go through.
Yeah.
Talk about it. That's why it's so much draining when it comes to relationships. And no wonder why nobody wants to commit. Because if you look at the definition of commit, it says the action of taking away your freedom. Everybody truly came here for freedom. That's what we came here for, to be an individual. And we have to release people and let them learn for what they have to do. If you think they disrespected you, it's because they don't respect themselves. It's nothing personal here.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we have to start understanding. Like, just because we felt some way about somebody doing this to us, they're doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
So we have to let them learn their lesson and be able to walk away gracefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, like, people will have unresolved childhood trauma, and and people are just like adult children, I say.
Oh my gosh.
Because they never dealt with those childhood traumas, so they just carry that on throughout their lives and think that how they react to certain situations is how it's supposed to be. But you're not supposed to react those type of ways, because you never healed from that. So that means that you allow yourself to, build up that negative habit.
Exactly.
Negative habit, and then you just spew that on to other people when you haven't resolved that issue within yourself.
Talk about it. That's what we call self-soothing. Like, back in the day, our parents helped soothe us when we were crying and pouting. Now we got adults not even being able to self-soothe their own emotions and have the awareness of the emotional intelligence to truly just breathe, like to calm themselves down. But instead we got bigger kids just throwing temper tantrums, having attitude. And that's what I realized. Most people don't truly want a partner. They want a parent, because they're still operating from a childlike level.
Exactly. Yeah. Real.
That might have been a bar.
Yeah.
That
was a bar. Real.
Okay, so with community, we know we need education. So I seen that you were doing back talk sessions.
Yes.
How has that been? Like, how has that process been for you? Like, what started that?
Well, I started originally doing Take the Lead podcast, and that was me solo, just spitting game on self-development. And self-development goes hand in hand with personal development and self-love. It's all about self. Like this, I really believe like this life is truly our own life. We all came here out of all the trillions eggs, we were chosen at a time such as this. So we have to cultivate this awareness of who we are, because it's not a coincidence that our name is like this. We look a certain way, we like certain things. So if we just know who we are, then now that's the game changer. You can master this game of life. So I started doing that with just Take the Lead, and then I had people reaching out wanting to be a part of the podcast. So then I created a segment called Bag Talk Session, where other people can spit game about the spiritual aspect to this journey revolving around like living their calling as well, because we're so used to like chasing the bag, but little do we know that we are the bag. So we just gotta tap into that, and we don't have to chase our dreams. We really do just manifest it, and everything will come to us. And that's what I realized with Bag Talk Session. It's just like people are coming. Like I don't have to reach out. Like people are truly interested in the message and who I am as a person. And that's what you just got to be so tapped into your calling, and everything will fall in line. You don't got to force nothing no more.
Right. Absolutely. And I want to touch on a point where you said like nothing is coincidence. And I strongly believe that as well, because we wasn't born here just out of coincidence. Ain't no accident that you was born. Like you was placed here for a specific reason. The universe called on you to be here at this present time right now. And so it's a reason why you're going through certain things. And it's a reason why you're here today. You're here to do what you're doing. So I believe nothing is coincidence. So if more people was to tap into that, they'll realize, all right, they can shed a lot of the burdens off just knowing that they're here for a reason, and it's a purpose that they're here. Yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Wow, that is so true, because most people are operating right now by emotions, like so tapped into their feelings. And I'm like, y'all, we got to get out our feelings. And it's just trying to get focused on the mission, baby. Yeah, you can't be here not to just be in your feelings. Like you can't be really on a vision of a whole nother calling in your life, to not just like, I talk about self-love and it makes people think I'm talking about just myself. I'm talking about the whole community, because if everybody get on this frequency of love, just simply being love, then it's gonna be less crimes, less drama, less heartache. It's gonna be less of everything. Yeah,
for real, man.
We truly are kings and queens. So like, if we really knew that, like, wouldn't be no press anymore. It would be just a whole domino effect. Just breaking the chains. Yeah. And exactly.
But you got to be able to see past like what's going on in front of you too. Like you got to like know what you want. Because if you don't know exactly what you want, or at least like a hint of what you want, you don't really even know like where to go. So I think like it's very important for us to do like pieces of content like this, pieces of content like what you're doing, like spreading the message that this is the way. Like the more positivity, have y'all noticed like when y'all do good things like throughout a week, you might have a bad week, but really a whole lot of good things happen to you that week. Like
exactly.
It's like somehow you didn't have to worry about gas that week. Somebody gave you food. One of your co-workers did something for you that like you didn't expect. Like it's just like little things here and there, man. Putting positivity out into the atmosphere can really get you a lot further than you trying to like just snake your way through things.
Yes, it comes back full force. And that's why I like to touch on, because yes, life is not going to be perfect. We're going to have a little hiccups here and there, but we don't have to like label things like a hardship. We can label it just a moment and then keep moving and like see like the beauty of being in gratitude. Like, wow, we got technology. I'm breathing. Like I got clothes. Like if we look at the small things, we truly have to realize we're so blessed.
Absolutely. We are. But With sort of like a grassroots way of moving with your brand, how challenging was it to get people involved with the Royal Challenge?
Oh, you said the
I mean,
Royal
the Royal
Challenge?
Purpose.
The Royal Purpose.
Royal Purpose, yeah.
Oh, so it was not as challenging to like meet the actors and the actresses and like the directors. So because I truly knew these people, it was different challenges like budgeting the film, because I believe in like putting your money where your mouth is. So I came up with the funds. So that could be challenging, because some people are looking for an investor, but if you don't even invest in yourself first, how can you get that? Like, so I had to really like work for mine. And I think that just taught me how I truly want to be independent. Like, I like making independent content. I like making independent movies because I really believe in my freedom. I don't like being caged in, boxed in, being told. My soul don't like being told what to do. I don't know. It's just me, like just the rebel in me. Yeah. So that's what it taught me. And I know being independent is gonna have some challenges because you do it all. Like, you cast, you write, you produce. But I truly believe that God gives those challenges to people who are equipped and mentally prepared. So it's just a lot of sacrifices I have to do. Like, I'm not really interested in pleasure because I got things to do. So that's like the sacrifice I think that's the most challenging, because of course, like, we want pleasure, like we want to pleasure and we want to play in pleasure. But I think if you know your mission, you can still play and have fun and still get the job done at the same time.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And how many projects have you released so far?
Bro, right now this year I'm in another project. I'm just actually acting in it. New Year, New Us, and that's that's actually on platforms right now, like Tubi, Amazon, and we're about to shoot a sequel, another movie for it. So that's the project I'm working on this month. So I'll be trying to take one day at a, one thing at a time right now. And then of course, like, the podcast for my brand is always pushing out content because I got so much to say. Like, I
see you.
I really think you post a couple pieces of content a day, like, at this point.
Yo, it be the downloads, man. It be the downloads. I really study the game. Yeah, I study people. I study human nature. I study the way the mind is going. I'm also on Twitter, so I'll be seeing everybody begging for love on there. So it's just like, oh my God, I gotta say something. If it hit, it hit, and if it don't, it don't. But I have to release whatever on my heart.
Right. Absolutely.
When did you realize that, like, you had to start putting out like pieces of content though? Like, because I know you were doing this like in your own regard, like a different way. You was doing like the podcasting. Like, when did you realize you had to like put your face on film? Like, I got to like let everybody like see me say
that. Man, so I always loved the camera, so it was easy for me to just like naturally talk in front of the camera. But I had to practice. I had to get better, because you can be stuttering, you can talk too fast, you can just, you really got to study communication, being talking to people. So I just showed up. Like, I showed up for myself. And I know, like, looking back, because I have like over 800 posts that I keep it on my Instagram to show people this does not happen overnight, y'all. Like, and then I look back and I be like, oh my God, this is so cringy. But I'm like, hey, it shows the growth. It shows that, it shows like I was still okay with who I am. And like, it's just anybody, like, you just have to not judge yourself like so much, because I know if we look at our content and then we watch it over and over again, we will see a flaw and we will just see something, and then we will talk ourselves out of it. I be having to just be like, okay, this is a hit, I'm gonna post it and just keep it moving. I'm not gonna overanalyze it.
Right. It's like, that's one of the things that I've seen, like, what we seen like Gary Vee say, like, you just kind of like gotta do it. Like, if you just do it, it'll like just have a domino effect. You will keep doing it. Right. Like, also they say if you start if you just take 10 seconds to start a task, you're more likely to finish it than if you just like don't do it at all. Like the first 10 seconds, if you just commit, you'll finish it.
Come on. It's all about committing to self first and foremost.
Man.
I think that's the biggest thing, like committing to self, being loyal to yourself, betting on yourself, investing on yourself. It's over with from there.
Yeah. I think, a lot of people are like afraid to take that step to like putting content out there, or even just starting, even if it's a business or starting something outside of the normal task of just working. You know, I think a lot of people are fearful. I ain't gonna say fearful of success, but it just they talk themselves out of it. And if you keep going on with, you have something that you want to showcase to the world, but you're just afraid to put it out there, then it's never gonna come out there unless you put it out there. Like, yeah. Absolutely.
That is facts. You really gotta risk it all, because like what else is there to lose though? Like you don't lose.
You don't lose.
You care about what other people gotta say. These folks don't be liking themselves, okay? So you gotta brush it off. You gotta brush it off and not realize that people project their fears onto you. People project their negativity onto you. That's just a projection, baby. But we don't have to like attach ourselves to that type of negativity. We got to rise higher. We don't stoop low.
Right. Another thing, like, I don't even think people should just ask them for opinions. Like, they should just start it, you know, and then let the work speak for themselves.
Yes, exactly.
Real. Just start it.
Yo, the only person I've been to is God, honestly, because God knows the way that we should lead our lives. People really will say their opinions based on their fears and their personal circumstances. This is not their life. You really have to do what works for you, and only you know what works for you.
Right. Absolutely. 100%.
Have you been able to see your influence, like, as you've been doing this? Have you been getting like your seeds coming back to you, or people coming back to you and be like, hey, I appreciate your content, like it really changed my life, or something like that?
Man, those type of messages right there, like it really like fills my heart up, because I really just wanted to be in the example. Like I knew I was a trendsetter though, because that's just the quality I have, is to lead. But when you are a leader, you don't have to tell people what to do. All you have to do is like exist and walk into your power and walk into your purpose, and everybody's gonna pick whatever you drop it. And that's how we should initially move. Like if you're moving like a leader and you showing the world that you are truly at peace, you are truly in love with life, you are truly like have so much abundance of fun and friends around you, then people like will want to see like, what is making her glow? Like something is up. She's truly different. And it's because of her energy though. It's not because of the material stuff. It's not because of the followers. It's not because of that. It's genuinely happy within herself, and the energy don't be lying. Like I think the best compliment that anybody can give me is talking about my energy, because that's my spirit. Yes, I got this temple. I was just blessed with this temple, you know, but like that's not me though. Like, but when you can really feel me, like from soul to soul connection level, that hits home every time. And that shows like I'm making progress within myself to change, because I'm not perfect. Like I got to learn about me every day. It's certain things and qualities that I want to constantly grow and constantly nurture. And if I can just treat myself right, then I can treat the world right. And I just want to show people like it's a different level of life that you can live. And I'm not interested in living a social norm. So I'd be like smashing all these social norms that they feel like women should live by. And I'm like, sis, or anybody, like literally you can really choose yourself in this lifetime and truly feel so much more joy than what they're feeding you, because they tell us that we need certain things to keep us in a rat race, to keep us as consumers, and to keep capitalists going. This is a capitalist society. So they don't want you to know that you are powerful. They don't want you to know that you already have the love within yourself. They want you to continue to look out and then literally be a beggar and be miserable over and over again.
Absolutely. Nah, that like I couldn't say it even better.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nobody wants to win because if we win, they lose. Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
they really got us like, I'm like, they really got us so focused on the wrong things, and they got us so like rewired and cultivating in this illusion. I'm like, y'all, this is not real. Like, this is not real. But hey, people wake up at different times, so it's all a matter of time before someone realizes, like, okay, like I can control this life. I don't have to let people push my buttons anymore.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you are the driver of your life. So, you know what I'm saying? your life. Yeah. Like,
Seriously.
it might be some distractions on the road, but you still driving. You still have to maneuver out of the situation.
That's
so,
real.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy, bro.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. And back to you making content and like you know, making the independent films all by yourself. Not all by yourself. I know you have a team, but just saying like independent wise, what are some roadblocks that you face along the way, and how'd you overcome them?
So roadblocks that I think we all face, like especially like making content, provoking thought. Everybody's not gonna like what you gotta say. Like, you are gonna get backlash. You are gonna get people who is gonna feel triggered, and that's when we have to not take things personal. That's when we have to understand, like, I am truly just the messenger. Like, I'm just the messenger here, and I'm so happy that it shifted a perspective and shifted a thought. But if you are a person that is choosing to provoke thought, you're not going along to just get along, you're actually trying to bring some type of truth, some type of message. You have to understand that it's going to require a lot. You have a different type of level of responsibility, and the certain roadblocks is like, I have to carry myself different. Like, I have to hold myself to a higher standard. Like, I can't just be everywhere just doing anything. So I think that is like the truth of being someone with such a high caliber within themselves. Like, you can't do a lot of things that quote unquote is normal or casual or fun. Like, you really have to sacrifice so much pleasure, honestly. And I understand why people don't do it. It's like, it calls you to truly choose solitude. Like, you have to choose to be alone to get work done. You have to choose that. If you have a whole nother, like, you have all these ideas to like leave this world and leave this legacy, something, whether it's like movies, content, podcasts, that requires work, and that requires time to think alone. And a lot of people don't want to be alone.
Not want to be alone.
Somebody, I made a content, like a TikTok about 4 signs you may be afraid alone, and somebody like was like, that's all you talk about is being alone. Like, you like, and I'm like, that shows you right there, like, why are we fighting our limitations? Like, why are we fighting that this belief that we are not enough, that we can't simply, our company is not enough, like we can't find entertainment within ourselves. It's a huge red flag when people are bored by themselves. It's because they are depressed, they are lacking, they feel like they need something. It's so much you can do if you just sit still with yourself. You should never be bored by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
For real though.
I love my own company.
But then, like, you gotta think, like, if you don't have anything that you really like fighting for or shooting for, like, I see people get stagnant. I see why, because you don't really have a vision. If you don't got a vision, you don't got nowhere to go. You really
So anybody can just come into your life and distract you. So I understand why most people get caught up into these situations, because you didn't even have a vision for a partner or a vision for yourself, let alone a partner. Anybody could have just caught your attention and you would easily fall in love, because most people want attention. Like, most people want validation. They don't want genuine connection of acceptance.
That's real. That's absolutely right.
Yeah,
They just felt lonely, and they just, first person get them different attention.
Yeah.
They fell for it.
It's over with. It's over with.
In this, so in this part of the podcast, favorite part is called Fast Five. So we're gonna ask you 5 deep questions, and you have a minute to answer.
Okay.
Emphasis on you got a minute to answer. So I'm about to start this timer.
I know you gonna time me. Like, let me know when I hit over a minute, but I can do them sound bites real quick.
Oh, you gonna hear them? You gonna hear that alarm go off? Trust me. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Go.
How do you define success?
Success is having a peace of mind. That is truly success, what money cannot buy.
All right. What are 5 ways you boost your self-love?
5 ways I boost my self-love is truly saying affirmations in the mirror. It's truly having a full night's rest of sleep, eating great, actually spending time in solitude, and spending time in nature is how I boost my self-love.
What is one memory from your life you want to hold on to forever?
One memory that I would love to hold on to is every time I'm just like fully laughing and like tears are coming out of my eyes. Like, I just want to remember every time I'm laughing, and I laugh a lot, so let's keep them going.
And what are some of the ways that we can boost our self-love within the community?
One way that we can boost our self-love in the community, I always have to advise everyone to truly take time to think for yourself. And that is when you have to choose to be in solitude so you can eliminate the noise and eliminate any negativity that tries to distract you. Going within, you will never go without.
All right. And what is one question you wish I asked you, and how did you answer?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What is one question you wish I had asked you, and how would you have answered it?
I think you did amazing. You did amazing.
I appreciate that. We appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Right on time. You had like 4 seconds to go. You could have said a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh, we did it, though. That's awesome.
Yeah. So what's next for you in the near and maybe like the foreseeable future?
Oh man, I see myself like continuing being an independent filmmaker and also collabing with other like filmmakers, like being a part of their films and acting in it, whether it's acting, producing, writing. But I love comedy, y'all. Like, I love to laugh. So I feel like later in life, like, I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian. Mark my words, like a stand-up motivational comedian out here on stage. But I'm gonna be on stage with a microphone wherever I'm at, world traveling the world. Honestly, I feel like I'm meant to like just travel the world and speak all across the world. So I believe that's what we gonna do. That is what we gonna do.
I shaded that. I can't wait to see that coming to fruition, honestly.
We're marking these words right now. We stand that, so it's happening.
Yeah, and so where can the viewers find you at home?
You guys can stay in contact Tera Chantelle on all platforms, from Instagram to YouTube to TikTok. Visit the website terachantelle.com for more details, to collaborate, to shoot something, for consultations and courses. And also on Amazon, Tera Chantelle, you can see the different books that we have. And let's just get it. Let's get it. Let's work, baby. That's all I'm trying to do.
To the self-love manual, we gotta throw that out there. We're gonna have to throw the book up there because we didn't get to talk about it today.
Yeah.
Oh, next time. But I truly appreciate you guys for the opportunity. Thank you.
No problem.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. This was great. And so for everybody at home, remember, it's all love, and we're out.